Okay, look, I can admit when I was wrong, for the most part. I can definitely admit when I was wrong. I gotta admit to you guys, I was not looking forward to this movie just because the first trailer looked very bland to me. Didn't really pop off the screen, essentially because it was originally supposed to be a streaming movie, and that's what the first trailer looked like. It looked like it should just be on streaming instead of in the theaters, but apparently they thought it was good enough to be put in theaters, so I was holding it to those standards, and it didn't live up to those standards. At least the trailer didn't. And then the second one came out, and it was they showed Nana with the minigun, and I was like, okay, that looks pretty cool. I might be sold on that. It looked a little bit better. But then, I mean, nothing happened after that, but like just prior to the movie, you know, it's like the only DC movie I could truly tell myself I was looking forward to was Superman Legacy. That's it. I'm looking forward to James Gunn's Superman Legacy because I know that's going to kick off the entire new DCU. But it's like, you know, this one he decided to keep, and he decided to keep the Flash, which I was extremely pissed about. But he decided to keep this one and, you know, introduce this character as the first introduction to the DCU because Blue Beetle will be a part of James Gunn's universe. So he decided to keep this movie, and they put it out, and it was a lot better than I expected. Oh, it was actually much better than I expected. The movie is actually a lot of fun, and let's just get into it. Let's just talk about it. Look, guys, this is Blue Beetle. Hey guys, it's your guy in the chair here, and look, this is my review for Blue Beetle starring, I gotta make sure I get their names right, so, Zolo Mariduena, hopefully I got that right, Bruna Marquezine, George Lopez, I know how to say that one, Melissa Escobedo, and it was directed by none other than Angel Manuel Soto. And our story follows Jaime Reyes, who just returns home to his family after graduating college, and essentially their home is about to be foreclosed, so he needs to find a way to save it. And so he runs into this girl named Jenny, and she has him hold this scarab thing that essentially chooses him to become the Blue Beetle, well, the hero that we're going to call the Blue Beetle, and it gives him magnificent superpowers that, of course, this military superpowered woman, well, she's not superpowered, but she has this superpowered henchman. This super villain woman, played by Susan Sarandon, basically wants that scarab so ripped off this boy's spine, and we have the Blue Beetle. I probably described that a little more graphically than I was supposed to, but those were definitely her intentions in the movie, so that works for sure. Look, guys, I'm just going to get into what I liked and what I didn't like about the movie, but trust me, there is a lot to like here, so let's get into it. Alright, so first of all, before I even get into all the things I liked about this movie itself, I just want to say, what this movie accomplished is what Flash should have done. And I'm not talking about the multiverse aspects of it. I'm talking about giving us a purpose of why this movie came out and why we needed this character, or why we needed to see this character do these things. The Flash gave us no point and no purpose whatsoever, but Blue Beetle made a statement as to why he is a chosen character in James Gunn's universe and why he did not get canceled. This kid, let me make sure I say his name right, Zolo Mariduena. Zolo, I'm just gonna call him Zolo for the rest of the review. Zolo killed it. This kid absolutely kills it as the Blue Beetle. I mean, I've never seen him I've heard that he's in the Cobra Kai show, and I should definitely check that out at some point, but as far as I'm concerned, this kid absolutely stole the show in every scene he was in. If he wasn't in a scene with George Lopez or Nana, because those two, I think, and Nana was played by Adriana Barreza, killed it. These actors and actresses absolutely killed this movie. But like I was saying, this movie did what Flash didn't. And I have to point that out because it's the DC universe. I just have to call it as it is. This movie truly gave Blue Beetle a purpose. This story was written so well. I loved this character. And honestly, again, before I even get into the stuff I liked about the movie, other than, Zolo, of course. Look, the people that are, and I understand some grown adults are saying it's a little corny or goofy or cheesy for them. truthfully, for me, when I was watching the movie, like just thinking of those comments in the back of my head, I'm like, but it fits in the movie. I mean, and that, you know, maybe the jokes and stuff aren't for everybody, but truly, like, the comedy, so all the jokes don't necessarily hit, but I feel like the goofy, kind of kiddish tone that is throughout most of the first half of this movie, for sure, it definitely fits. It definitely fits the narrative. I mean, the family is absolutely lovable. Like, I haven't been so attached to a family like this since Instant Family, the Mark Wahlberg and Rose Byrne movie. If you guys have not seen Instant Family, I promise you that is going to bring your heart to a wonderful place. That movie is so good. But other than that, the family here, the family dynamic in Blue Beetle is fucking amazing. That's basically what this entire movie is based around. Also, family is a big part of this movie, so I don't want anybody acting like family is such a new lesson that everybody's being taught all of a sudden, because Fast and Furious has been teaching that for almost 20 years. I think the first one came out in 2001. Yep, 20-something years. So, family is not a new lesson. As Vin Diesel always says,
I don't have friends. I got family.
And I live my life a quarter mile at a time. Stuff like that. But either way, look, the family dynamic in this movie is amazing. Like, you're absolutely in love with all the family members here. The standouts, of course, are George Lopez's Uncle Rudy. I wanted to call him Uncle Reyes, but Uncle Rudy. And then you have Nana, like I said, played by Adriana Barrera. And the mom was great. The dad was amazing. He was really good too. The sister, I'm not gonna lie, the sister's character I had to kind of get into because it took me a while, but she grew on me. At first, I was kind of like, she's gonna be annoying, but she grew on me after a while. The girl who played Jenny Cord, I want to make sure I get that name right. Bruna Marquezine, she was amazing and gorgeous. Absolutely every frame of her, it was like watching Megan Fox in the original Transformers just being discovered all over again. But I'm sorry. Look, she did a great job as Jenny Cord. Honestly, I adored this cast. I had Susan Sarandon as the villain in this movie. She killed it. Like, honestly, you would, like, she was like really intense. It was like she was, and like I said, like when I described her basically wanting to rip the Blue Beetle out of this kid's spine, like, I'm telling you, like, that was her goal. She wanted to do whatever she needed to at all costs to make sure that she possessed this Blue Beetle. Like, she was a great villain. I'll say this, the action sequences are amazing because the CGI fights between, I think the suits are practical, or at least Blue Beetle's is for sure, but the CGI fight between Blue Beetle and, or the CGI that happens between the fight between Blue Beetle and, I'm not necessarily sure what the character's name is, but he plays her henchman, and he's basically the red version of the Blue Beetle, but just in a much bigger suit. That guy was amazing. He was very intimidating, very menacing. I loved all the action sequences. The fights are really good. Him discovering his powers and just going throughout the film, you know, just discovering who he is, like, with this suit and how it works and stuff like that. It's amazing. It's so much fun being along this ride. You're just honestly, I read, like, John Campea, a guy that I look up to a lot, he kind of said in the first half of the movie it was okay, it was kind of meh, but then the second half picked up a lot. The second half definitely does take a more intense turn into giving you Blue Beetle's actual nature and his story and where he comes from and how important family is to him, and it really digs into that in the second half. But the first half truly kind of warms you up to that. It kind of builds up to what goes on in the second half, and honestly, it's an amazing movie. Like, it's really, really good. I was not expecting this movie to be as good as it was. Like, this kid Zolo absolutely, I can't wait to see Blue Beetle in this universe. I really am. I am excited for DC universe, for DC movies. I am. This movie got me hyped. I thought Superman Legacy was gonna be the one, but nah. I think Blue Beetle is going to be a great character. Please leave the Flash somewhere else. Please leave him in 2023. Don't take Ezra Miller with you to this new universe. Leave him here. But other than that, Blue Beetle can stay forever and ever as far as I'm concerned, because he was absolutely fantastic. Alright, so now that that's out the way. The movie, yeah, that's pretty much everything I liked about the movie. Now I just have some things that I didn't like about the movie, but it's not too much. It's not digging into it. But let's get into it. All right, so like I said, I'm not gonna trash on this. Well, of course I'm not gonna trash on the movie because I loved it, but I'm not gonna dig into this movie too much as far as like what I didn't like about it. The only thing I'm just going to point out that it's really predictable, and when I say that, I mean in the sense of I definitely knew one character's fate at least. I think we were like maybe 30 minutes into the movie. I knew exactly where that was headed. Honestly, the movie has a lot of parallels between Spider-Man, a lot of the Spider-Mans actually, like No Way Home. I even saw some, Across the Spider-Verse / Into the Spider-Verse parallels. There's a lot of Spider-Man dynamics in this movie for sure, so you can see where a lot of things are going from a mile away. My one friend pointed out Iron Man. I can kind of sort of see that in the technology aspect, but not really. But yeah, it's a lot of Spider-Man parallels in this movie from like different Spider-Man movies. You can clearly tell this movie was inspired by a lot of different superhero movies or superhero stuff. But yeah, it's pretty predictable. But I mean, other than that, I was good with it. I really liked it. The predictability didn't bother me. Like, it's okay. Like, I mean, yeah, it's a comic book movie, so some things have to happen in order for characters to grow and get to a certain point, yada yada. So I mean, stuff has to happen, but it's just it was predictable. Just had to point it out. It's just me being a critic dick. Sorry about that. But without further ado, guys, look, for all those reasons and so many more, I'm going to give Blue Beetle a 3.5 out of 5 stars. Alright guys, so Blue Beetle, have you seen it? What did you think about it? Look, be sure to like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff and so much more, guys. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching. This is your guy in the chair. More content coming to you soon.